Anthony and Jimmy were best friends. They lived in a small, poor village. Their home was in the quiet countryside. Life was hard, and money was scarce. But their friendship was strong and true. Every morning, they worked in the fields. The sun was hot, and the work was long. They carried water from a faraway well. Their hands were rough from endless labor. At night, they were tired, but hopeful. Their village had only one small school. Both boys had left it very young. They learned instead from working the land. Books were rare, but dreams were free. They often talked about the wider world. They had little money and few things. Their families struggled to buy food. Anthony often looked toward the horizon. He wondered what life was like elsewhere. He dreamed of a better future somewhere.
"There must be more than this," Anthony said.
Jimmy nodded and looked at the sky. Maybe the city has work for us. Milan is far, but full of chances. They began to think about leaving home. For weeks, they thought about the plan. They asked an old man in the village. He had once traveled to a big city. "It's hard there, but it's possible," he said. His words gave them quiet courage. That night, they sat by a small fire. "We could go to Milan," Jimmy whispered. Anthony's eyes lit up with new hope. "Yes, let's try. Let's find a future." The two friends shook hands on it. They said goodbye to their families. Their mothers cried and held them close. "Be careful and write to us," she said. Their fathers gave them a small bag of bread. The two friends walked toward the road. The journey to the city was long. They walked for many tired, dusty days. Sometimes cars passed, but no one stopped. They shared their last piece of bread. Their feet ached, but they kept walking. One night, rain soaked their thin clothes. They slept under an old wooden bridge. "Are we making a mistake?" Jimmy asked. Anthony looked at him and shook his head. "We can't stop now. Milan is close." Finally, they saw tall buildings ahead. Milan appeared bright and full of noise. Anthony smiled at Jimmy with excitement. But the city was not easy for them. They had no home and little money. They slept in a small train station. Cold nights made them miss their village. Every stranger seemed to look away. Every day, they searched for work. Shop owners looked at them and said no.
Their shoes grew thin from walking. Their pockets grew emptier each day. Hope began to feel very far away.
One cold evening, they had no food. Jimmy sat down and put his head low. "Maybe we should go back home," he said. Anthony placed a hand on his shoulder. "Not yet. Let's try one more day." One evening, near a small cafe, a kind woman noticed their tired faces. Her name was Sophia, and she smiled. "You both look hungry. Come, sit down." She ordered warm soup for them both. Sophia listened to their long story. She saw their honesty and their courage. "I know someone who needs workers," she said. Anthony and Jimmy could hardly believe it. For the first time, hope felt near. The next morning, Sophia kept her promise. She took them to a small bakery. The owner needed 2 strong, honest helpers. He looked at them and gave a nod. Anthony and Jimmy got their first jobs. They woke up early every morning. The smell of fresh bread filled the air. Their hands learned new, careful skills. Flour covered their clothes and faces. Slowly, they began to earn real money. Sophia checked on them every week. She brought them warm coats for winter. "You are like family now," she said. Anthony and Jimmy thanked her with tears. Her kindness became their new strength. Months passed, and they worked hard. They saved every coin they earned. Jimmy learned to speak Italian well. Anthony learned how to bake bread perfectly. Together, they grew stronger every day. One day, the bakery owner smiled. "You 2 are excellent workers," he said. He gave them a small pay raise. Their hard work was finally noticed. Pride replaced the fear they once felt. They rented a small, simple room. It was tiny, but it felt like home. They cooked dinner together every night. They talked about their old village often. Their friendship grew even stronger there. Anthony began saving money for his family. He sent letters and small gifts home. His mother wrote back with proud words. Every letter gave him new energy. Distance made their bond even deeper. Jimmy started dreaming of his own bakery. He drew small sketches of a shop sign. Anthony encouraged him every single day. "You can do this," Anthony always said. Their hope had turned into real plans. On weekends,
They explored the city. They saw the Duomo shining in the sun. They laughed like they used to at home. They forgot, for a while, how hard life was. Milan slowly became their new city. 1 year later, life had changed. They had steady jobs and steady pay. They no longer feared the cold nights. They no longer walked with empty pockets. Their courage had finally paid off. Sophia visited them with proud eyes. "Look how far you both have come," she said. Anthony hugged her like a second mother. Jimmy thanked her for believing in them. Without her, none of this would exist. Jimmy saved enough to open his shop. Anthony helped him bake the first bread. Their small bakery smelled warm and sweet. A small sign read, "Two Friends Bakery." Customers came, smiling, from the street. They remembered their village every day. They knew where their journey had begun. Poverty had taught them strength and patience. Distance had taught them the value of home. Friendship had carried them through everything. Anthony looked at Jimmy and smiled. "We really did it," he said softly. Two poor boys became two strong men. Two dreamers became two proud friends. Their story became one of hope.